Hey friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm going to be showing you What's Up Nails Too Cold for School collection. So this collection came out almost a month ago, so I am sorry that I'm a little late to sharing it, but I am excited to show this cute winter lineup. As always, I will have comparisons for these and share more of my thoughts at the end. For now, let's get into the swatches. The first shade is Passion is My Profession, and this is described as a burgundy red jelly base with sparkly holographic flakies. So even though this is a jelly kind of formula, it is very, very pigmented. So I was pretty impressed with the coverage on the first coat. You can see it's very opaque, full coverage, but still really squishy. And I thought this would be opaque in two coats and maybe just have like a little hint of nail line, but I was kind of surprised to see just how much nail line I still had on two coats. Not that I really mind that at all, because as you probably know, I'm a fan of jelly nails and seeing a little bit of nail line just doesn't really bother me. But for this shade specifically, I actually did prefer how it looked on three coats because it just deepens the color a little bit more. So it's that really deep, dark, juicy kind of red shade. And you get a little bit more of those holographic flakies too. So I personally would wear this on three, but I think a lot of people can get away with it in two. Next up we have Can't Unsee, and this is a teal polish that is packed with shimmery green flash reflective glitter and a captivating green to blue iridescent shimmer. So this one has a little bit of a jelly formula as well, but not as even coverage and impressive on the first coat, but it does even out and build up nicely on two coats. I don't know why, I was just struggling to paint my nails today, so apologies for the weird like cuts and angles and whatnot, but here it is on two coats and I really loved how this built up. It's such a beautiful color. I love it's not the typical expected like winter evergreen kind of shade. This is a beautiful fun teal and so sparkly. Next up we have Sequin Seeker, and this is a neutral gold shimmer polish with a pink to gold iridescent flaky mixed in. So the formula on this one was super flawless. It was a little bit more on the thinner side, not necessarily watery, but just thinner, but still very full and even coverage on the first coat alone. I ended up just doing two coats, but I think for full opacity, you would want to do a third one. I just didn't find it necessary because it was only a hint of nail line in extreme angles. But yeah, either way, I didn't love this one, mainly because of those flakies. I do like the initial gold base color. Next up we have Hero Below Zero, and this is a light blue base with clear and light pink iridescent shimmer. So this one has a little bit more of a sheer kind of crelly formula, I would say. I wouldn't call this like a true jelly, even though it is very sheer, just because I find that this one can be pretty easily built up. There's a ton of shimmer, so that just adds to the opacity and coverage of your nail line. And I think this one looks really nice on just two coats alone. Even though again there is still a little bit of nail line, it just has such a dainty, soft, icy blue winter look to it. But if you did want a bit more fuller coverage, not full opacity, maybe like 97% opacity, you could do a third coat, and honestly I still think I prefer it on three coats just because it builds up the blue base a little bit more. It's just such a pretty color, especially with all of that dainty icy shimmer. The next shade we have is Drippy Days, and this is just described as a light gray cream. There is a little bit of a blue undertone to it though, so in some lighting you might see a little bit more blue popping out, but it's not really like a neutral gray. And the formula on this one was absolutely divine. This is just one coat and I was so impressed with it. It's very opaque and pigmented, very full coverage, but still buttery and smooth to apply. It wasn't like super thick or chalky or anything. I think if you have super short nails, you might be able to get away with this in one coat, but I just did two for full coverage. And yeah, I am just such a fan of this color. It's so unique, so cool for winter, and the formula just makes it so amazing. And rounding out the collection, we have Moody Duty, and this is a vibrant bright blue with an iridescent blue to purple shimmer. I think I would call this like a cobalt blue, and it has a little bit of a crelly formula. So you can see here on the first coat, it is very pigmented and pretty even coverage. There are just some light spots, but I pretty much only needed 2 coats to get this one fully opaque for me. I guess depending on your application and nail length, you might need a 3rd coat, but yeah, this one is absolutely stunning. I normally consider cobalt blues like this more of a summer shade for me personally, but I really love the idea of this in the winter. I also really ended up loving the shimmer because at first I thought it was going to be a little too subtle and not show up that well on the nail, but it's really pretty. So here are the first 3 shades as a little Skittle on my other hand. I'm wearing Passion is My Profession on my pinky and index, Can't Unsee on my ring finger, and Sequin Seeker on my middle finger. And that isn't a chip or anything, that is actually just a big flaky on my middle finger, which again, I'm not the biggest fan of for that polish specifically, but this is definitely a cute holiday trio. And then for the blues, I decided to wear the 3 blues, but then Can't Unsee on my pinky, just because it's, you know, kind of a teal shade. So you can see it definitely is very green leaning compared to the other true blues in the collection. Well, I guess technically Drippy Days on my index is more of a gray, but you can see how blue it actually leans here. So yeah, here is 2 coats of each in the sun and the shade. And here is the collection lineup. So it's super cute, very festive, and perfect for winter. It's a fun mix of different finishes and formulas, and all around very, very nice. The only one, again, that I didn't love was the gold because of those flakies, but that's really just a personal preference. Like formula-wise, these were all on point. So getting into comparisons, I knew right away that I wanted to see Passion is My Profession next to Cirque's red Bttms from their Atelier collection last month. This one is another like red jelly with these holographic sparkles. But as you can see, Cirque's is a lot more of a brighter, almost like scarlet red. And you can see just how dark Passion is My Profession can get. So I think a closer color comparison would have been Cirque's Fire Opal, which was retired a couple of years ago. This was from their Facets line, so it has more of a matching hollow flaky jelly formula like What's Up Nails. So I really thought these were going to be pretty comparable, but on the nail they are still very different. The flakies are a lot more dense in Cirque's, and Cirque is also a little bit lighter too. So unfortunately, What's Up Nails is not a dupe for Fire Opal. So for Can't Unsee, I decided to try and recreate it with Olive Ave's Borealis because it's a pretty similar teal base color. If anything, it's a little bit lighter, and I tried to layer KBShimmer's Out of Sequins over that, but obviously it does not give the same effect. It is a lot more subtle than Can't Unsee, so unless you plan on doing several coats of a reflective topper, I just don't think it's worth trying to recreate it unless you're going for a more subtle finish. Then for Sequin Seeker, I wanted to show this next to Cirque's 24K Affair, which, as you know, is a new recent favorite gold metallic of mine. I would say they have a pretty similar metallic base color. It's a little bit more of a golden yellow on Cirque, so you can see Sequin Seeker is a little bit more of a neutral. But again, you can see the main difference is that it also has those pink iridescent flakies. The last comparison that I have is for Drippy Days, and this was a little bit hard for me because I don't have like a true neutral gray in my collection. So I thought it could be worth comparing to Olive Ave's Cloudy, which is like a very, very light blue color. It's actually not white like you might think it is here. So you can see here on 2 coats of each just how gray leaning Drippy Days actually is, but there still is a little bit of a blue undertone. I could have sworn I had Cirque's Storm King in my collection, but I just can't find it. But I would say that one is a little bit more similar, but Storm King pulls more blue. So that wraps up my swatches and comparisons for What's Up Nails Too Cold for School collection. As always, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this release because, like I said, I thought it was a cute lineup. Like color-wise, I think they are fun, festive, perfect for the season. The formulas were super nice too. Like I don't have complaints there. I guess if anything, I was kind of surprised when I first saw the lineup. I kind of assumed the red was going to be my favorite because I love a good sparkly red for the holiday season. And even though I already have made it pretty clear that the gold is my least favorite from the collection, the red ended up being towards the bottom bottom as well for me. I guess it just didn't look as sparkly as I was hoping that it would. It is still a beautiful color, but I just found myself gravitated a little bit more towards like the blues and that teal reflective polish. I think it is so pretty. But yeah, I am also loving Hero Below Zero. It is just so shimmery and almost like reflective in a way, not with reflective glitter, but just like so shiny. I just think it looks super pretty. So I'm wearing 2 coats of each. I don't know if you can tell any kind of difference, but I think it's a lot sheerer looking on my longer nails, but it's a little bit more passable on my shorter nails. And I'm kind of surprised that it's my favorite because I think I mentioned this in the voiceover portion, that just seeing them from the lineup, I just assumed I wouldn't be as interested in some of those other shades because they didn't really stand out as much in the bottle, but on the nail they are really pretty. So I would love to know which ones were your favorites, if you've tried What's Up Nails before. If you're interested, I will have their website linked down below. Make sure to leave me any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. Actually, before wrapping up, I did want to chat a little bit about my planned videos in the next couple of weeks. I don't know why, I feel like I just haven't been posting as much. Like November was definitely a very busy month for me, and even though I have been posting like 2 to 3 videos every week in December, it just feels slower for some reason, or like I'm falling behind. So some videos that I hope that you'll be looking forward to, especially next week, are my Black Friday haul video, which I am so excited to share, and I can't believe it's already almost the end of the year. So that means we are going to be doing a volume 2 of my nail polish awards video. I wanted to make it a little bit more fun and interactive and do the survey that you guys can enter in, so that way I can share the popular responses in my video as well. So hopefully I can get that survey out today to have enough time to work on the video and everything. But I think it would be really fun to have you all vote on what your favorites were for this year. So I'm excited to share that. I'm planning on having my nail polish awards video on either Friday or Saturday of next week. So yeah, I'm just pretty excited about some upcoming videos that I have for you all, not just in the next couple of weeks, but also for January and next year in general. But that's enough of me blabbering for now. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.